Greetings and God bless. I'd like to share this Jason A video. So, if you've been watching YouTube and any kind of truther videos, you've probably seen Jason A. But here he has this clip of the earthquake in Turkey. Now, we were shown, like a couple of weeks ago, there was this big weird red cloud above Turkey, and then the earthquake hit, and it looks like I've heard 20,000 people have died as of today, and it looks, when you look at the before and after, it kind of looks like, maybe a third or a fourth was left standing of this particular area. But I want you to look at the distortion of the video that occurs. So looks like this road was then destroyed, which I'm wondering if it was destroyed to prevent aid from arriving. But okay, so we've seen these. I mean, is this a planned demolition? I mean, this looks mighty familiar to me, but maybe it's just how buildings were built. But watch this, okay? So we are going to see distortion a few times. There we go, there's that one, okay? Now, I have been seeing, and you've probably seen it in videos as well, and you're probably like, oh, there's something up with the camera, blah, blah, blah. There's something up with the camera. I am wondering if it was HAARP, if HAARP was blasting, or 5G or some sort of frequency was blasting, because cameras are picking up on this, on the disturbance of the field, so to speak. So we're going to see this happen again. Okay, look at that. So this was like a second after. So I think there's a blast. There's a blast, because with this, because I see this in videos, I see weird distortion, digital distortion. It's also called demonic distortion. And when we see demonic distortion in people, the background all remains the same, but the people have distortion. Now, I have had, like, when I'm doing my videos, there'll be distortion happening, and it happens on my face, and I'm like, oh, what does this mean? Do I have demons inside my face? Am I possessed or something at the time? Because, I was mad about such and such, like, am I demon possessed? And is that showing up in the video? So I have seen it happen to some recordings of pastors, and it's interesting because there are other pastors that their film quality is always just superb. There's no distortion that happens, but and I don't know if it's the quality of cameras that some are picking up more on the digital distortion. But I assume this is a security camera, so this is the second one in like a millisecond. It's like maybe two milliseconds since the last one. There's going to be another one. Okay, so here it's cleared, right? It happened again. Folks, normally when I see a digital distortion, it's like once, but it keeps on happening. And yes, I know there's a earthquake going on, but still. And when you see, like, when you're ever watching anything and you see digital distortion, look into the what's showing up, because I've done that where it looks like there's a photo of somebody else in another room that's in the artifacts. It looks like there was this one that I saw where it looks like I'm seeing a computer screen and somebody's in the room, and I mean, it just looks like that. Like, why would a breakdown of pixels actually have an artifact that looks like a real thing? So I don't know if you've heard, but Turkey rejected some sort of NATO proposal and rejected having Sweden involved in something. I don't know if it was joining NATO or something like that, but it looks like, and I wonder when things happen, I wonder if it's some sort of punishment, like when there's hurricanes that have happened. I wonder if it's like the governor didn't do what the globalists wanted them to do. So the governors or the globalists punish, so and so, like Florida with the flooding and whatnot. So it seems like Turkey might be getting punished with these HAARP, or some type of weather warfare, or I don't know what. Like I think it's called techtonic, or some. There's a term for this type of warfare where you're creating an earthquake. So let's see if there's another one after this. Okay, so that's a very long. Okay, and there's another one. So this is a fourth zapping, I would say. Okay, so I just saw this, and I feel like this is an important thing to be aware of. Um, like you'll see this digital distortion where the pixels break down, and it can be in a when the president's giving an address, or when you're hanging out with your friends. But it's not so much like I don't see it when people are at the beach quite so much. I don't see it, um, like I've seen it in studio, like where there's a TV show. Like there was this, I was stranded at the airport, and so there was a TV playing Nickelodeon, and every once in a while, I mean frequently, like every few seconds or so, there was a breakdown of the screen. And when I was growing up watching TV shows, it didn't happen. When we were watching Sesame Street or Electric Company or Mr. Rogers or whatever, there was never digital distortion. So I don't know if this has to do with um, maybe poor quality technology that we have, or better quality technology, or if there's just more demonization. So when you're seeing digital distortion, do a screen capture and look closely, look around at it, and you might see something that seems to be real in there. And you know, I think we should just wonder what's going on. Why is this happening? And is there some directed energy weapons being targeted at what what where the distortion is occurring? Because in Cuba, there was this term called Havana syndrome, where people were feeling really bad, like everybody was feeling like a lot of fatigue, um, and eventually they figured out that the American embassy was being zapped by electromagnetic frequencies. So it's a fact. It's been done. China was doing this recently when it was having some sort of border issue with India. I believe China was using a sound weapon, and they just beamed their sound weapon, their sound cannon, at the Indian soldiers, and the Indian soldiers were taken out. They were just vomiting. They were annihilated. I mean, they weren't killed or anything. It was like a harmless but very potent kind of crowd control. So, so I'm wondering if that's what happened to Turkey, and I think this is possible evidence of some type of, um, violent weapon that was used against this whole country, which I think would be like a violation of international treaties or law about war. Like you don't attack the civilians because you didn't get your way, because NATO didn't get its way. So they're going to kill 20,000 people and destroy, 75% of the housing. you know, I mean, of course, that's not the progressive liberal globalist Satanist way. The Satanists are like, oh yeah, we get to kill you just because we feel like it, because it pleases Satan, like more the angrier I am, the more justified my murder bloodlust, it seems. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Uh, is this possible? So thanks for watching. God bless.